We're talking something very serious, baby. We're talking about the survival of you as a new generation offspring. We're talking about the resurrection of a new breed of consciousness, a consciousness that will perpetuate divine order. We're talking about a consciousness geared and designed to perpetuate divine socioeconomic family community order. And what we must do is fuel the living source, the living essence of the soulful existence of who we be. And in so many instances, what has happened, the parents, the grandparents, they've been on their own little self-centered, individualistic journey, trying to find new kinds of air conditioning, new vehicles to ride, trying to find some new shoes that look this way or that way, and they have forgotten the divine, natural, and innate duty, obligation, responsibility of parenting. They think it should be about them, that the parents should grow older and be taken care of, and the child should be left to grow, I guess, somehow. I don't know. Go put them to school somewhere. Take them somewhere. You enjoying your banana?
Yeah.
Good, huh?
Yeah.
Fresh, grown, organic banana. Life is indeed for the living, and we have to do this for you all. We have to. We must rescue the generation next. There are so many young feminists that have no direction, and so at some particular age and time, she looks beautiful to somebody's eye physically, who could care less whatever else she's about within her soul, within her being. The present situation, you become a victim of prey. You enjoy being hugged and squeezed, loved by you, do you? You don't need to be no victim of prey. That's the responsibility of I and those parents, those foreparents, those fathers, those sons, who grow up trying to perpetuate some false sense of masculinity, who feel like they should go get their own individualistic mission, their own individualistic job, their own individualistic car, their own individualistic soul journey. And it ain't no soul that they're journeying on. It's a self journey. And they cannot comprehend that if we are not about collective, conscious, communal movement, we don't have any love or respect for the generation next.
We are the youth. We are the future.
Papa, what you gave me is so strong. I know you've been waiting for so long for the next generation to rise up and help you, Papa.
My father, I owe it to you. Anything you ask, I will do. Papa, what you gave me is so strong. Make me wanna sing this song. Happy squatter money, we owe it to you. Happy squatter money, we owe it to you.
Yeah, we're in a serious crisis. And in the midst of this serious crisis, December 18th, 2023, and here I still sit, piecemealing, dealing with the urgent need for healing, feeling the feeling of humanity, dealing with the impending 9/11 prophecy, AD 2027, dealing with what is in store as we prepare to enter the door of 2024, the sleeper, where the gatekeeper is the grim weeper, dealing with the zips and the zaps as the stakeholder gets even bolder and colder while he sucks, sapping, and trapped, dealing with rapping this rap as a roadmap out of the insanity of pale vanity, dealing with the obstacles in the way that prevents the I and I from saying what the I and I need to say. But, the ancestors say it anyway. The level of intelligence that humanity has got to indulge in at this particular point in time, simple common sense reasoning, is absent. There's no way that it could be anything other than absent, because it's been absent in the parents and the foreparents and the foreparents, who have been so busy assimilating, integrating, and adopting a nature that opposed his and her existence, and then passing that on to their offsprings as a successful model, a role model of opposition to one's mental, physical, and spiritual existence. This is what has gone on. And we're in a serious crisis now. And there ain't no quick fix. The best that we can do is to begin to gather a few of a sacred few and begin a process of selected mating, selected breeding, seeding, feeding, whole life energy. We're just starting to feel the intensity of the heat rising. We've just begun to feel the droughts and the heavy rains and the other kinds of things. Think about the level and degree of insanity that's amassing within the minds of those who have consumed of a nature of energy that totally oppose the essence of life and supreme love. This crisis must be dealt with. It is not about the color of one's skin, but rather about the state of consciousness that one lives within. You see, it's too easy to look for excuses. We know for a fact that there are offsprings who became lost in the various movements out of that great, majestic Mother Earth center land, today called Africa. We know full well that in those movements, there are all kinds of circumstances, all kinds of patterns of consumption, all kinds of levels and degree of conflict, confusion, chaos, all kinds of stress, strain, and anxiety that produce mindsets out of sync and out of focus with our holistic living reality as man, he, and she. The freezing cold, the blights, the desert, hot, heat, intensity, the level and degree of fire burnings of Mother Earth's green garden vibration. It is not the first time that man, he and she has faced challenges. It is indeed not the first, and maybe it will not be the last, but I tell you one thing, it will be the one that will make a statement as to whether we continue to exist as soul-to-soul beings upon this earth. And I don't see any reason why we should consider anything other than holistic living existence. You see, the soul journey that we're upon right now is what's key and essential. We oftentimes forget that it is our soul that is the whole life movement of who we be, embodied in this temple, a transport unit for soul-to-soul intercourse from the presence of life. We forget that, in fact, without that whole soul movement, we become soulless beings. And a soulless being is cold, merciless, having no feeling for nothing except self. It's a deification of opposition to divine socio-economic family community order. That is what a soulless being is. There are a massive amount of soulless beings walking our earth right now. Capitalistic, having no concern about nothing except one's own personal agenda for the moment, regardless of the hurt and harm that it causes on mass populations, Mother Earth, or any other living thing thereof. It's all about self-centered, individualistic, personal agenda. It has nothing to do with our soul presence. It is simply a test to determine whether we will align with the sacred ancestral principles of Ma'at, or whether we will align with the toxic, depleting energies of conflict, confusion, and chaos that amass within the isfit nature of opposition to divine order. We give all due honor and respect, praise, and appreciation to the magnificent glory of Mother Earth, wind, rain, and sun, the totalness of our existence. I said before, I say it again, and I say it again. We are a physical presence, a manifestation of earth, wind, rain, sun, earth, body, wind, breath, rain, blood flow, sun, the solar presence of the heart that connects with the heat to produce the body that actually warms the glory of life within us. And we are simply a reflection of the greater solar system, the greater solar sphere, the greater universal order. There's nothing monotheistic about our existence. Absolutely nothing monotheistic about our existence. We've got to begin to consume truth, supreme truth, and cease to perpetuate this monotheistic ideology of self-deified individualism that is perpetuated by a capitalistic nature of thought that oppose divine social, economic, family, community order simply because it's not as profitable. It is more profitable to have 30 people have 30 different vehicles, spending 30 different monies to go 30 different directions in their own self-centered, individualistic consciousness, that they have a collective movement of oneness, preserving Mother Earth, being economical about the fuel that one uses, and gathering together in mass numbers to plant and harvest the fruits of the tree of life. We got to begin to comprehend what is the essence of life and how does that interrelate with a love supreme. And within that nature of love supreme, then we can begin to comprehend how far off base humanity has become and how far we need to work intensifying our energies toward collective movement, collective oneness. Communal collective order is the agenda for the survival of humanity. And we must clean up our environmental situation, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to enhance this soul journey that we are upon. Now we have to comprehend, since there are so many soulless beings walking around upon our planet, we cannot get mixed up. We cannot assume that a soulless being is going to have the same agenda in his or her movement as one who's interconnected with a sacred ancestral soul-to-soul journey. These things are difficult to comprehend because we've become so caught up in a culture opposed to our existence that we cannot really see again how important it is for collective conscious communal movement. Family, divine socio-economic family communal order. It is essential that we create stable parents. It is quintessential that those stable parent relationships be the essence of man, he and she, biologically, a collective conscious communal order of masculine and feminine energy with a primary duty, obligation, and responsibility to begin a massive detox and purge to heal from the cold, pale, toxic ordeal which is perpetuating this crisis. We must begin to comprehend that relationships must be about mental, physical, and spiritual agenda, and that agenda must be about resurrecting divine socioeconomic family community order, and that focus must be the family unit, he and she, producing offsprings who have the capacity to go forward and multiply divinity into every offspring and vibration of the next generation. In other words, we must begin to function completely in a different parallel than what has been going on. You see, the parallel that has been going on has produced colonized, enslaved populations who have their allegiance to the master overlord. And those allegiances are to serve the will of the self-deified individual. And within that parallel of thought and reasoning, every action that's been prepared has reflected the assimilation, the integration and the adaptation of opposing values. Well, and I appreciate the fact that you came in to help me with this little presentation for a few minutes, okay?
Yes.
We're going to take a little break, then we're going to come back at it, okay?
Yeah.
Can I get some sugar? Yeah, bubble.
The next generation devotes our life to you. Everything you want us to do, we honor you.
I know how humanity must populate my spiritual good to break free holistically, giving us a spiritual eye to see. Every man, he and she, be within the circle of life, so we honor earth, wind, rain, and sun. Divine union of one. It's a spiritual war, but we cannot yield. Frontliners survive on a